Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this RoversTV production of the Kingstone Press Championship Round 1. Yes, folks, season is back. It's Halifax against Featherstone Rovers. Quick rundown of the team news for you. First of all, starting with Halifax. At full back is Connor Robinson. In the three quarters are James Saltonstall, Steve Tyra, Ben Heaton and Rob Warrensey. The half backs are Scott Morrell and Ben Johnston. In the front row is Luke Ambler, Ben Kay and Mitch Carlane. In the second row are Shane Grady and Simon Griggs. And the loose forward is Jacob Fairbank. On the bench is Adam Tangata, Ryan Boyle, Ed Barber and Alex Mamone. For the coaches, Richard Marshall. Rovers line up. At full back is Ian Hardman. In the three quarters on dual registration is Ash Hanley. He'll be alongside Luke Briscoe, Chris Aluja and Josh Hardcastle. In the half-backs are Anthony Thackeray and Matthew Wildy. In the front row are Andrew Bostock, Keil Carlisle, and on dual registration is Jordan Baldwinson. In the second row are John Davis and Frankie Mariano. And the loose forward is Brad Tagg. On the bench, Kyle Briggs, Darryl Griffin. And on dual registration is Josh Walters. On dual registration is Jack Ormondroyd. The Rovers coach is John Sharp. Today's match referee is Mr. James Child. First competitive welcome of the season. Good afternoon, Joanne.
Good afternoon, Ben.
And your thoughts on the lineups, first of all?
Well, if we take the Featherstone Rovers lineup, obviously a few key names missing in that Featherstone Rovers lineup that we were expecting today. We've got Richard Moore and Scott Turner, who pulled up in the captain's run yesterday. They're missing out on the game. And we've got Michael Knowles out at the moment, and Jason Walton, unfortunately, is ill with a virus. So this is why some of the dual registration players have been brought into today's team. Having said that, still a strong team out there. I think you'd agree, Ben. It's just a shame that we're missing some of those people that were so effective in those pre-season games, such as Moore and Walton and Turner. Another thing that we've identified is who will be the goal kicker today. We've been discussing this. John Sharp at the forum on Thursday night mentioned Ian Harmon as a goal kicker. Maybe it will be him because we have got Kyle Briggs on the bench. So from the start of the game, it could be Ian Harmon that's kicking, but obviously we'll let you know who that is as the game progresses.
So quite an few interesting changes as well for Rovers. You mentioned the dual reg players that are coming in. A couple there that we always think of as Fev lads anyway, in Ormondroyd and Baldwinson. But a lot of players on competitive debuts as well you're going to talk about.
There are, yeah. There's Chris Alugia out there, Josh Hardcastle. It does say Jack on the team sheet, but it is definitely Josh. Keil Carlisle also making a competitive debut. They've figured heavily in those pre-season games. And Matty Wildy, we think he's making a competitive debut because we do believe he got injured in the pre-season friendly against Leeds last year and didn't feature in any of the competitive league games. Matty Wildy at scrum half, that's another interesting choice, isn't it? Whether we weren't sure if it would be Briggs and Thackeray in the halves with Matty Wildy on the bench doing an interchange at hooker with Keil Carlisle, but John Sharp's gone for Matty Wildy at scrum half, partnering up with Anthony Thackeray, who's playing standoff today. So that will be an interesting partnership to see how that goes. But surely, I think what Sharp has looked at is how Wildy has performed in those pre-season games and how effective he has been. So you know, that's the, in terms of the choice of scrum half and standoff, I think that's where he's gone for. They're up against some seasoned standoffs in the Halifax lineup, Scott Morrell at standoff, Ben Johnston at scrum half, and then the pivot player in Halifax, the hooker Ben Kay. We know what he's capable of, don't we, from his Featherstone Rovers playing days.
Indeed we do, and just looking down that lineup, of course, they've got Rob Warrensey returning today. Had a spell at Sheffield, I think 2 or 3 years from Halifax. He's now back in this Halifax team. We all know the danger he can pose, but just looking down that lineup, including on the bench, where do you see the threats in this Halifax team, apart from obviously just mentioned the halfbacks.
Well, Halifax have a very strong line, don't they? Mitch Cahalane, Luke Ambler, Shane Grady, the new signing that they've made this season from Dewsbury. And then on the bench, you've got the likes of Adam Tangata, Ryan Boyle, and the signing from Australia that have just made Alex Mamoni. They're all big players, so they've certainly got some bulk of the Halifax team. So they'll be looking to go down the middle, I'm guessing, will Halifax, and it's up to our players to be able to counter that with their defence.
Indeed, I mentioned, of course, like I say, Adam Tangata does cause so many problems off that bench. Here come the two teams. Rovers in their brand new away strip of bright red, and Halifax in their blue and white stripes at home, of course. So it's the first competitive game. Rovers, we talked in pre-season about how much they've been able to take from those games. How important has those pre-season games, including that defeat to Leeds, how important have they been in preparing the Rovers and Halifax for today's game?
Well, at the media day, I asked quite a few of the players that very question, and they said it was absolutely crucial in preparation, especially against with no disrespect to York and Hunslet, especially against the teams like Wakefield and Leeds, to be tested against pretty near Super League full teams. It was invaluable for them. But that's all forgotten now. We're all going for the first game of the season here and kicking off this 2017 Kingstone Press Championship season.
I think we are going to have a minute's silence here for some former players, by the sound of it, who have died. So we'll just break off for a minute for this minute's silence, and then we'll be right back with you. A fantastic minute silence there, observed by both sets of fans for a number of Halifax players who have passed away in close season. And Joanne, there's one particular player that you wanted to mention as well.
Yeah, it was former Halifax and Featherstone Rovers player Terry Ramshaw was included in that minute silence, so it was nice there for the tribute to be paid to him.
Indeed, so it looks like Halifax are going to get first use of the ball this afternoon. It's the RoversTV Kingstone Press Championship Round 1. It's Halifax against Featherstone Rovers. It's going to be Ian Hardman who's getting the game underway with a low click across the floor, which is taken by Ben Heaton. But that's good defence there by Rovers. Jordan Baldwinson and Johnny Davis there. Warrency now drives that ball back in. Looking to get a feel of the ball early. Back in the Halifax colours, Rob Warrency. Ben Kay with a scoop from acting half. But Rovers penalised for offside inside the opening 30 seconds. So not the start that John Sharp will have wanted, Joe.
No, that's the first penalty of the game going to Halifax. James Child stamping his authority already on this game. We were saying before, he tends to be quite a pedantic referee, does James Child, and he's certainly saying that he's having nothing of this creeping forward into that 10-metre space. So first penalty going to Halifax. So first danger of the game as Halifax 20 metres away from the Featherstone line.
Ben Kay moves that ball out through the hands of Johnston. The ball is swung out wide. Here's Tyra. All down 10 metres shot. Plays the ball. Brought back in field. Through the hands it goes. There's a drive in from Luke Ambler. Wearing number 15 for Halifax. Halifax 12 metres away. Centre field. They come right. Scott Morrell. Swings that ball out wide to Simon Griggs. But good defence there by Rovers. Johnny Davis and Chris Aluja in the tackle. There's a drive in from Mitch Carlane. Halifax held up a couple of metres short now. Morrell again. Gets a cross-field kick in. It's taken high, but just not able to hold on to the ball. The first opportunity of the day goes to Halifax.
I think he's injured himself as well as the Halifax player who went up to take that ball. It was on the last tackle. Scott Morrell put that cross-field kick in. The Halifax player leapt for it and he beaten the Featherstone defence around him, managed to catch it, but then dropped it just as he was about to put it over the line. So first missed chance to Halifax.
First let off for the Featherstone Rovers as well. A great opportunity within the opening couple of minutes there for Halifax. The clock time is called off. The Halifax player is getting treatment, but warning signs there for Featherstone and Joanne of just how dangerous Halifax can be with Scott Morrell and Johnston in the centres if Featherstone aren't careful.
Yeah, Scott Morrell had a lot of time on that ball, didn't he, to take that kick. We didn't close him down on that last tackle. It wasn't an early kick, so they need to be careful of that and close him down in future plays.
So here come the Rovers and Jordan Baldwinson beats one man, but it's well tackled. Oh, and that looked a bit. The referee's calling time off here.
The touch judge is on the field as well, so he's seen an infringement in the play there.
There looked to be a high tackle on Baldwinson. The man who missed him first time round came back and had almost looked like a swinging arm. The touch judge has seen it, the referee didn't.
Yeah, James Child missed it, didn't he? But the touch judge came on. Jordan Baldwinson not very happy at all as he got up to play that ball. So Featherstone with an attack here. They're into the Halifax half.
Great opportunity for Rovers, and they're inside the Halifax 30. Go right. Here come Rovers now. Carlisle swings it out wide. And Rovers on the charge. Can't see who it is from here. Wildy finds Thackeray. It's a low pass. Here's Davis now. Davis tries to spin out to tackle, but good defence. Aluja at in half. Finds Thackeray now. Thackeray with a drop-off pass to Baldwinson. Baldwinson drives for the post. Rovers 3 metres away. Just to the in line with the left-hand upright. It's with Wildy with a kick over the top. It's going to be too deep. It's taken in the field of play. And Rovers able to tackle him behind the line. So a good set there for Rovers. Pinning Halifax back and forcing the dropout. And that's a great first attacking set, Joanne.
It was. That's exactly what you want, isn't it? To force another set of 6 with a dropout. I think the player over on the right-hand side there that made that half break was Josh Hardcastle. He's a very effective player, isn't he? And Halifax found him difficult to handle, and he set up that last kick there through that good play that he had. So Halifax have taken the dropout. Zachary's taken it just inside the half. Baldwinson drives it in, but he's met by a wall of Halifax defenders.
Baldwinson plays the ball. Here goes Andy Bostock. And Rovers approaching the Halifax 20 again. Picks a one-hander by Carlisle. Finds Thackeray. Thackeray finds Johnny Davis. Tries to forward from Halifax. The referee having none of it.
It's a very flat pass, wasn't it?
Thackeray again now. Goes across the line. Wildy finds Ian Hardman. Shrugs off one, but he's well tackled. Rovers 10 metres out. 10 metres in from the right-hand touchline now. And here's the drive in there from Brad Tagg. Here's the last tackle again. What are the options this time? It's a flat pass to Baldwinson. But Halifax able to keep Rovers out. Great defence there from Halifax. Baldwinson not able to get over. But Rovers looking dangerous though, Joanne.
Yeah, certainly it was another good set of 6 by Rovers, but equally Halifax's defence were up to it, and that short pass came to Baldwinson very close to the Halifax line, but Halifax defence were there in numbers and they managed to tackle Baldwinson with the ball, so it's a turnover to Halifax. They're now having to bring it away from their own line. They've got a little half break there, but Kale Carlisle wrapped him up, but Halifax on the charge, playing the ball quickly, and they're up to 30 metres away from their own line.
There's a knock on now from Halifax. It is Shane Grady with the knock on. So another opportunity for Rovers, who've had 5 minutes gone here. Still Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 0. And another opportunity for Rovers, Joanne.
It is, yeah, the best outcome of that, because Halifax were playing the ball very quickly, weren't they? And they were putting pressure on the Featherstone defence, but I think Shane Grady was trying to play the ball too quickly then. Obviously trying to get that advantage over the Rovers, and by doing that he's ended up dropping the ball as he's tried to play it. So it's scrum to Featherstone with Thackeray to feed.
So Thackeray now finds Aluja. It wasn't Thackeray, it was Wildy who actually fed the scrum.
Wildy was feeding the scrum, I do apologise.
Aluja plays the ball. Here goes Andy Bostock on the charge. Bounces off Luke Ambler, but it's held up on the 20. Carlisle swings it right with Thackeray again. Here's Wildy. Moves that ball on, out wide to Frankie Mariano. He's got 4 men around him. Well, there's another penalty. This time for offside. So Rovers piling on the pressure, Joe.
They are. We've got to convert this into points, this pressure though, Ben. It's important that we do that. Certainly ploughing down that right-hand side, aren't we, when we're attacking near the line.
Here goes Bradley Tagg then. Carlisle shows it left, goes right through Wildy. That ball's moved on. And Rovers, I think, are held up. They are.
It's Josh Hardcastle again there
on
that right-hand side, causing a few problems.
Here's Baldwinson now. Ball goes out right again. Hardcastle moves it out wide. Rovers have converted it into points. Over in the corner go Featherstone Rovers. Rovers are over in the corner. It was a pass from Hardcastle out wide. I think it was Alud. I'm not sure if it was Briscoe who was moving round on the outside. Just awaiting confirmation, but you said Rovers had to turn the pressure into points. It's been given to Josh Hardcastle. It wasn't.
I don't think it was, no.
It was Briscoe. Luke Briscoe it was who took the pass from Josh Hardcastle on the outside, able to put it down in the corner.
Well, what's happening, Ben, is I was just saying about them playing that right-hand side. John Sharp's, we have got a strong right-hand side of attack. John Sharp's obviously thought that the Halifax defence down there, left-hand side of defence, is weak. All the players that we've been putting on have mainly been down that right-hand side. We've been piling numbers over there, and this time it has come off for us. And I do believe that Josh Hardcastle is actually, despite what it says on the team sheet, is actually playing in the centre with Luke Briscoe out on that right wing. So that's where the confusion's arisen, I think, with the announcer here as well, and with us in the commentary box.
Right, okay, so that explains that. The answer to the question of who's kicking the goals this afternoon is Ian Hardman.
Oh, we guessed right then. Should have put a bet on, shouldn't we?
Ian Hardman has got it tight to the touchline, though. Not an easy first kick. He's pulled it across the face, so no conversion. But with 8 minutes gone here at the MBi Shay in Halifax, a great start for the Rovers. It's Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 4.
Certainly is a good start, isn't it? And like I was saying just before that we took that penalty, I said we've got to start converting this pressure into points. Just to hold up on the kickoff there as the ball's fallen off the kicking tee. But I was saying that it was important we converted that pressure into points, because if you don't, you end up getting a frustrated team So we've done that. The ball bounces from the kickoff. Thackeray takes it, passes it to Baldwinson, who again drives it in. He's met by 3 Halifax players, though, and is put down on the floor. That was good defence by Halifax. He plays the ball. It goes out to John Davis, who has to reach behind him to take the ball. He takes it up to the 20, just short of the 20-metre line. Halifax coming up, encroaching a little bit there. Could have been pulled for offside, but they weren't. So the ball's taken forward. And it is played. It comes out to Luke Briscoe, I think, who's come for a little wandering field. And the penalty goes to Featherstone. I did say that Halifax were encroaching that 10-metre line. Oh, no, it's a holding down, actually, not an offside. So penalty goes to Featherstone. That's third penalty of the game. Well, the third penalty goes to Featherstone, 1 to Halifax so far. So Featherstone have done a good kick to touch. They're going to take the tap on the Halifax 20-metre, so they're in the danger area yet again, with Bostock driving it into the middle.
So Bostock then, just inside the Halifax 20, plays the ball to Carlisle. Centre field, the ball to Johnny Davis. Rovers now 10 metres out, 5 to the left of the uprights. Here's Jordan Baldwinson again, driving that ball in. He's had a great start to this match as Jordan Baldwinson.
He's getting involved in everything, isn't he, Ben?
Wildy again, finds Hardman again. Rovers on the charge, yes. They're over again.
Yes. Josh Hardcastle goes over, and boy, does he deserve that try. Josh Hardcastle out there on that right-hand side. Right-hand side again. 2
tries in 3 minutes for Featherstone Rovers. Superb play it was. Matty Wildy. The ball found Matty Wildy from the play the ball. It was swung out wide through the hands of Ian Hardman to Josh Hardcastle. And Josh Hardcastle able to put that ball down. So a great start for Featherstone Rovers. We've got barely 10 minutes gone. And it's Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 8.
And what a signing Josh Hardcastle has been from the amateur club Featherstone Lions in off-season. What a good player he is. He's a bit Greg Worthing. Well, I was going to say Greg Worthington-esque, but I think he's actually stronger and more elusive even than Greg. I think it's unfair to compare, really. You know, it just goes to show what talent we've got in the community clubs around us, and that we should be looking at places like that, shouldn't we? And yeah, I just hope he can keep injury-free and keep this up. He's a player oozing with confidence, isn't he? And the other thing when we talked to John Sharp about Josh Hardcastle was when he was, before he was signed, when he was a trialist, John Sharp said that he'd be turning up early for training, putting in that extra mile. So he's obviously got a really good work ethic as well.
The kick from Ian Hardman has missed again, so Rovers unsuccessful with the conversions, but 2 tries in 3 minutes for Featherstone Rovers have given them an early advantage here. And we're just coming up to 11 minutes gone. It's Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 8. And Rovers will be wanting to keep this up, Joe.
Yeah, as the kickoff comes and Thackeray takes it. I was just going to say, how important is it, though, not to have a recognised goal kicker on the field? Because we are currently going up in 4s instead of 6s.
So here come Rovers again then. A good drive in. Rovers then just look at the yards Rovers are making. A good 10 metres made there by Johnny Davis. And now here's Brad Tagg. That's good defence from Halifax, just short of halfway. Carlisle swings it left this time. Thackeray puts the kick over the top. Bounces twice. Turns round the Halifax defence. And that chase from Featherstone is fantastic.
Brad Tagg there with an excellent tackle. Really, really good chase on that kick. And he's such a hard tackler is Brad Tagg, isn't he? And he put the man to the floor quite easily there.
But how important is it well for Rovers, Joe, and that ball finding the ground, turning Connor Robinson round, making him take it from deep on his own line, giving that defensive line chance to get up.
It's crucial, isn't it, that we do that and make Halifax bring it away. And what we need to do is a little mess there with the play of the ball with Shane Grady. We need to make sure that we keep this set of 6 clean as we go on to the 5th tackle.
So here's Morrell, puts that reverse kick over the top. Ian Hardman, safe as you like, read that superbly, took it on the full And there's the difference. We talked about a minute ago about Connor Robinson having to turn around. Ian Hardman able to take that on the full and is able to make 10 metres into open space.
Yeah, Halifax will be disappointed with that kick that they put in there on the last, going straight into Ian Harmon's arms. He is a good positional player, is Ian, but it wasn't the best of kicks, was it there?
So Rovers attacking down that right-hand side now.
Frankie Mariano, he's like a bull, isn't he? When you look at him with a ball in hands, you wouldn't want to have him charging at you, would you?
Not at all. Randy Bostock then moves the ball into Thackeray. Thackeray, drop-off pass to Brad Tagger. Lovely sidestep. Rovers 30 out on the last tackle. It's Thackeray again. But Rovers knock on. Unlucky that.
Brad Tagg there.
They were looking dangerous, though.
They were looking dangerous. It was a lovely sidestep from Brad Tagg. The problem was there that he tried to play the ball really quickly. It was a last tackle, a bit like what Shane Grady did for Halifax previously. He was trying to play the ball so quickly that he lost control and it's ended up a knock-on. So Halifax have got head and feet at this scrum, 30 metres away from their own line. I always struggle with football pitches with the dotted lines, but yeah, 30 metres away from their own line.
There's a player down in back play for Halifax, so a breakage in play. We've had 15 minutes here at the MBi Shay. It's Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers. Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 8. 2 tries for Rovers. 1 for Luke Briscoe, 1 for Josh Hardcastle. Neither converted by Ian Hardman, but a 2-score lead in a match in the opening round of the Kingstone Press Championship, Joanne. Such an early lead as well. How that Rovers can only take confidence from that.
Certainly can, yeah. It's going to the textbook, I guess, that John Sharp would have been writing before this game. The coach's manual, wanting some early scores on the scoreboard. And we've got that, certainly. It's a matter of keeping that up now, though, and not letting Halifax get back into the game. And the Featherstone Rovers defence is quite ferocious, and we do need to make sure we keep our discipline. And there's a break by Halifax down the centre of the field, and it's Ben Johnson that's got the ball. He loses the ball, though, so I think that's going to be a knock-on. So Ben Johnston was following the Halifax break. He caught the ball, looked as though he might be in for a try, but the Featherstone defence was able to tackle Ben Johnston just as he tried to kick the ball and put him off, and it ended up going to ground, so it's a knock-on. So Featherstone survived that one again. That's so it's a scrum on the 10-metre line, the Featherstone 10-metre line.
It was Ben Kay with the original break for Featherstone, and in the end found Ben Johnston. But that chance, the first real opportunity Halifax have had on the Featherstone line, but Rovers scramble in defence, able to get back and cover it up well. And again, we talk about the positives Rovers have taken going forward. That'll give them some belief in defence that they can scramble back, they can defend well. And with 15 minutes gone, it's still 8-0.
Bit worrying about Ben Kay being able to break the middle of the Featherstone defence there, though. I'm not sure who it was who he broke away from, but he had got a clean break, and Johnston was supporting well, and we were fortunate that we were able to get back and rally back to tackle Johnston. Just need to be a little bit tighter than that in the middle, and we, like I said before the game, we know what Ben Kay is capable of.
Here's Luke Briscoe then on the Rovers 30, another untidy play of the ball. Carlisle moves that ball in field to Brad Tagg again.
Looks like a little bit of a haggish shot there. Ian Hardman Keil Carlisle, was appealing to the ref, but he didn't get it. John Davis gets the ball away, though, to Carlisle. Goes to Thackeray, across to Lugia, who loses his footing a little bit, but still manages to get away from the Halifax tacklers. He's eventually brought down 30 metres away from the Halifax line.
Here goes Baldwinston then. Rovers just shy of the 20. Lugia bouncing off 2 or 3 tackles there. We're on the last tackle now, says Mr. Child. So it's with Anthony Thackeray. He'll dink one over the top for Chase. It's not back. Is it still the last? No, it's a penalty. Accidental offside.
Yeah, there's a lot went on there, wasn't there? So we had the Thackeray kick on the last tackle, went over to the left-hand side this time. Luke Briscoe knocked it back, and then it was a bit of a shambles, really, a bit of a juggling act, wasn't it, between players, and it ended up with Anthony Thackeray being offside, so the penalties come.
We've got a stoppage in play again. Rob Warren's flat out on his back over in that corner. Didn't see what happened. But Rob Warren's is certainly looking a bit the worse for wear at the moment. That'll be a blow for Halifax, won't it?
It certainly would. Apologies, it was Ash Handley over on this left-hand side that patted the ball back, not Briscoe. Briscoe's on the right wing, of course. Still getting used to our positional play, aren't we, this the first game of the season, but we'll get there.
So it's not just me that gets names wrong then. So 2 tries for Rovers in the opening 15 minutes to Josh Hardcastle and Luke Briscoe. The other way around, so it was Luke Briscoe first, then Josh Hardcastle. Neither converted, but Rovers in this opening 16 minutes, Joanne, they've looked really strong and really impressive, haven't they?
Yeah, it's still looking strong. Unfortunately, that didn't come to anything, that last play, did it? But it could have done. I think that's the thing. It was a menacing kick by Anthony Thackeray, and Ash Handley did well to leap and pat the ball back. It's just unfortunate that Davis and Thackeray weren't able to do anything with it once it had gone back, but Halifax had got some numbers around as well. Warrens is back on his feet. It looks to be okay to carry on the field. So from a Halifax point of view, that'll be good news for them as they take the kick to touch from that penalty for offside.
So Halifax then are going to start on the 30. The referee says, no, wait for me. Scott Burrell says, can I take it now? And then moves it in field. So here come Halifax. They're just shy of the 40. We've got 23 minutes left in this first half. But good defence there from Featherstone Rovers.
Halifax crowd shouting for a penalty. They think that Featherstone are laying on at the play the ball too much.
It's that left-hand side here, Steve Tyra. But good defence from Rovers. Halifax now 10 metres inside the Rovers half. Ball swung across. Oh, Halifax they're able to duck under one. It was Ben Johnston. Tackled by Bostock. We're on the last tackle. So the kick comes through. That finds touch. That's a great way to end the set for Halifax. A perfect touch finder, finding touch literally a yard before the corner flag, and Rovers are going to have head and feet on this scrum on their own 10, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kick to touch, isn't it, by Morell? That was his intention, to put that ball deep so that Featherstone would have to bring the ball away from a scrum on their own 10 metre. I guess that Halifax will be hunting the mistake. They'll be hunting the mistake, Will Halifax, from Featherstone Rovers here.
So far, though, Featherstone haven't really made any mistakes. Not down this end, anyway. Here's Ian Hardman.
Don't tempt fate, Ben.
Thackeray again. Aluja takes that ball in.
Got a nice sidestep on here as Chris Aluja. You can tell that on firmer ground that the warmer weather, he'll probably be quite elusive, won't he?
Elusive Aluja.
Yeah.
Here's Thackeray. Tries to step inside, but good defence from Jacob Fairbank.
Knock on as well.
Knock on.
So this is what this mistake that I was saying that Halifax would have been hunting from Featherstone Rovers, from that kick to touch by Scott Morell, and they've got it. They've got it on the Featherstone Rovers 40-metre line. All the Halifax players going over to Jacob Fairbank and Luke Ambler and giving them pats on the back for that tough tackle on Anthony Thackeray that caused him to lose the ball. So Halifax feeling with the tails up a little bit, feeling a little bit more confident. Ben Kay is going to put the ball in at this scrum.
And of course,
I say, 40 metres away from the Featherstone Rovers line.
The new rules, of course, this season, the defensive line now has to be 10 metres back from where the scrum sets, not 5, to allow a bit more room.
Took a while, did Ben Kay, to put the ball into that scrum, but we've got there eventually. Halifax bringing it, they've taken it over that 40-metre line.
Here's
Shane Grady now taking it forward.
Grady plays the ball to Kay. Here's Scott Morrell now. Morrell moves that ball out wide. Ben Heaton steps through. What a tackle from Ian Hardman, though. But he has conceded a penalty.
There was a penalty there. Chris Alugin missed the play that went through there on this right-hand side. He missed it. He managed to chase back, but Ian Hardman came in with that tackle. It was a hard tackle, and the penalty's been given to Halifax.
So Halifax are going to have the first, the first real set in the Rovers centre. Put some real pressure on here.
It was Ben Heaton for Halifax who took that break down this right-hand side. It was a one-on-one with Aluja. I thought Aluja would have tackled him, but he didn't. He evaded him. So Halifax 10 metres away from the Featherstone Rovers line, and it's a dangerous time for the Featherstone Rovers defence.
Here's Luke Ambler, plays the ball to Ben Kay. Ben Kay, drop-off pass. Finds Luke Ambler again. Ambler sees a gap and goes for it, but it's quickly closed down by Johnny Davis, of all people. The ball swung through the hands. Here's Johnston. But good defence from Featherstone, able to hold them out. Down the short side goes Shane Grady. And the ball swung back in field. Johnston again, through the hands it goes. Here's Morrell now.
Oh, what Morrell. A tackle from John Davis. That was a cruncher of a tackle from John Davis on Morrell.
Johnston puts the kick in. It's very flat. The ball's come loose. Rovers have come up with it. Briscoe's away. He's over halfway. Slows up. He gets over the 40. Over the 30. Inside pass. Featherstone Rovers are over with Josh Hardcastle. Absolutely sensational try. Briscoe picked up the ball on his own 10-metre line. He went fully 60, 70 metres before offloading the pass to Josh Hardcastle to stroll in under the sticks. And Featherstone Rovers with 21 and a half minutes gone. It's Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 12. Joanne.
That was an amazing try there, wasn't it? Halifax, right from their error, they lost the ball. The ball came free. It was picked up, raced away, beat off several players there. Did Josh Hardcastle to come racing away. Like we say, what a good player. He kept his cool though, didn't he? And absolutely brilliant play. And was it? I thought it was Ash Handley that scored the try. Was it not number 24?
I might be wrong.
Yeah, it was Ash Handley who scored the try. I was trying to see. It's actually down as 25 on the score sheet, but it was Ash Handley that was backing up there to Josh Hardcastle to score that try. And that was a brilliant try. As Ian Hardman adds the extras, we've kicked the conversion. So that's a great try for Featherstone Rovers there, isn't it?
It is. I thought Briscoe had made the break. My apologies, Josh. What a break it was, though. And Ash Handley backing up, and Rovers have converted with 17 and a half minutes left here in the first half. It's now Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 14. And Rovers at the minute are looking fantastic. Halifax appealing for something. Here's Aluja now.
Can I just say that try leading up to the Halifax mistake, that crunching tackle by John Davis on Scott Morrell on the tackle before, that's the things that make the difference, and it often goes unnoticed. But that crunch of a tackle meant that Halifax weren't set up properly for that kick on the last tackle. They made a mess of it, and Josh Hardcastle picked the ball up and ran the length of the field with Ash Handley supporting. And what a great try. It'll be great to watch that one on the DVD afterwards, won't it?
And another fantastic kick from Anthony Thackeray, turning Halifax round, making them retreat to their own line to pick that ball up. And they're making two changes now at Halifax. On comes Adam Tangata. On comes Ryan Boyle. So Richard Marshall is obviously not happy with the way things are going for them at the minute.
Well, at 14 points to nil, he certainly won't be, will he? And we've got Rob Warrensey coming into the middle of the field. It looks like Daryl Griffin's going to come on for Featherstone Rovers.
As is Jack Ormonroyd as well.
Ormonroyd. So what a pair to come on for Featherstone. Halifax won't want to see those two coming on.
The kick's charged down by Rovers. Have picked it up. Here's Hardcastle.
Halifax made a real mess of that last kick there. It went too high over the head of the player, and they ended up putting a hurried kick in, and it was charged down. It was good defence by Featherstone as Bostock and Baldwinson come off the field to be replaced by Daryl Griffin and Jack Ormonroyd.
Not a bad pair to have to come off the bench, is it?
Not at all, no.
Here goes Rovers again, though. That's another great break. Here's Ian Hardman. Just
unlucky. His ball's gone to ground there. That was a great break there. Good work by Ash Hanley to Ian Harmon, but then the ball just was put to the ground in the middle of the field. Unfortunate. Halifax have got the scrum on the 20-metre line. It's going at 100 miles an hour at the moment, is this game, and it's hard to keep up with everything that's happening. And it looks as though Halifax might be having a player leaving the field.
Gonna have some work finding some highlights out of this one later, Jane, isn't it?
I think they'll. I think the highlights of the game.
The highlights of the game will be in the
30
game.
minutes long.
At least the opening 25 minutes. What a match it has been.
And Halifax have got an enforced change there down on the field. The Australian Alex Mamoni is coming on. Is that Luke Ambler that's coming off? Oh, it's Ben Heaton, sorry.
That's a blow for Halifax.
It is, because he did the breakdown the right-hand side when he beat Chris Illusion and went close to scoring. He did actually get injured in the build-up to that play. And there's a penalty to Halifax. I think it was a high tackle that came in from Featherstone. So a relieving penalty for Halifax. With 14 minutes of this half remaining, it puts them into the Featherstone half on the 40-metre line. They'll take this tap, and they're taking a quick tap.
Rovers slow to react to that quick tap, and a good 10 metres made. Ben Cave from that's in half-back moves that ball in field. But look at that Featherstone defence. Jack Ormonroyd and Daryl Griffin. You wouldn't want to move in. You wouldn't want to run into those two in.
Oh, John Davies, he missed that time. John Davies come out of the line to do another crunch on Morell. Morell bounced off him that time, though. He didn't quite get him properly, but he's certainly marked Scott Morell out as a target to be tackled today.
So here is Morell again, though. Moves that ball in field. That's a good pass, but good Rovers defence. It's Daryl Griffin in that tackle. There's a kick through. And Halifax, it's bounced off the post. Halifax are over for the try. It was a kick from Scott Morell. I think I'm not at the end for the post. He will probably say he did. But it bounced off the post. And it's Jacob Fairbank who's able to drop on the ball. And we've got 13 minutes left here in the first half in the MBi Shay. It's Halifax 4. Featherstone Rovers 14.
So it puts Halifax on the score sheet, does that? Yes, Scott Morell with a little dink. Jacob Fairbank was level with Morell, I think, when that ball was kicked, and certainly no question of offside there from the referee or the touch judges, and he managed to follow that ball. It went over the line and he touched it down, so it's under the stick, so you'd expect that this conversion will be taken successfully. So that puts them only 8 points behind Featherstone Rovers. Against the run of play, I think it would be fair to say in this half, but points count. And Featherstone, it is how they respond to this. With 12 minutes of the half left, it's how they respond to this try from Halifax. It's given Halifax a little glimmer of hope and a little bit of confidence that they can breach that Featherstone Rovers defence. So Josh Walters comes on for Brad Tagg, who's had a good spell in that first half as Brad Tagg.
Josh Walters has spent the end of the playoffs qualifiers on dual registration on loan, actually. He was last season for Featherstone. Played in all the qualifiers, so he's back again here. He'll be looking to make an impact and try and force his way into both the Rovers team and also maybe the Rhinos team further down the line. But here are the Halifax coming out from their own 20 now. The question for Featherstone now, Joanne, is how do they respond to that try?
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah, it's very much how they do respond. And Halifax looking confident in the middle of the field. So Featherstone, John Davies coming in with an excellent tackle there, though. It's the last tackle. The kick goes up there from Morel. It's high up in the air. It goes to ground, but Ian Harmon should be able to take this just short of his own 10-metre line, and he brings it to 15 metres away from the line.
Briscoe from acting half-back takes on the line, but is well tackled. Looks to offload. He has.
He's knocked on. He was looking for the offload there, was Briscoe. I've no idea why he was doing that so close to his own line. Featherstone committing suicide a little bit. Rugby league suicide. Halifax are going to take the scrum here 20 metres away from the Featherstone Rovers line, so piling on the pressure.
We're going to see the return of Ed Barber in a minute. The introduction of Ed Barber, should I say. Danny Evans on the touchline, the message going out, just calm things down. Don't need to panic, Featherstone there. They've got control at the moment.
He was looking for the offload there, was Luke Briscoe. He was facing his own sticks. He'd turned his back. He was looking to sneak the ball out. Absolutely no reason for him to be doing that in that position.
We've got 10 minutes left here in the first half at the MBi Shay.
Crucial Halifax, that we keep Halifax out here, Ben.
Crucial indeed. It's Halifax 6, Featherstone Rovers 14.
It's Ben Kay that's left the field for Ed Barber. So Halifax 12 metres away, coming down this right-hand side, looking dangerous. The ball's come free. Alusia goes after it. It's a knock-on, though. So it's a knock-on from Halifax. So that's a good outcome for Featherstone Rovers there. The scrum's going to be put down on this 10-metre line. It was Jacob Fairbank, the try scorer, that knocked the ball on as he tried to break through down this right-hand side.
The message needs to go out to Rovers. Just have a controlled set now. Nothing silly. Don't try and force the pass. Have a controlled set. Get to the end of the set. Get a kick away, and then build up there.
Well, since that last try, it's become very scrappy from a Featherstone Rovers point of view. So it's a matter of not trying to break away from every play the ball. As we're seeing quite a lot of Jack Ormonroyd's backside there as he gets a bit of a wedgie from the Halifax players. Yes. We saw quite a bit there, and the penalty's gone to Featherstone Rovers. I'm not sure if you can get a penalty for a wedgie, but it was certainly laying on at the play the ball, let's say. Dangerous contact, yeah. So Featherstone now have got another penalty. It's a double penalty. So it's all good. The Darryl Griffin, a bit of a high shot put on him there, I think. So we've got back-to-back penalties for Featherstone Rovers. High shot on Darryl Griffin by Alex Mamone. So Thackeray puts the ball to touch. Goes into the Halifax half. So Keil Carlisle takes the ball. It goes out to Darryl Griffin again. He drives it forward 40 metres away from that Halifax line.
Are we going to see a penalty try here?
Well, let's hope so.
Here are Rovers and 30 metres out. Centre field. Wildy finds Thackeray. Thackeray to Davies.
Oh, it's a very short ball, wasn't it? But equally good defence by Morel on Davies. It's a good tussle between those two this afternoon.
Here's Ian Hardman now. Rovers 10 metres out. 10 metres in from the left-hand touchline. Thackeray finds Walters now. Walters takes on the line. We're on the last tackle here. Rovers 5 metres to the right of the sticks.
Walters, not sure if he got injured there. It looked a high tackle on him, actually, but nothing was picked up. Thackeray with the kick through, and it goes dead.
It's a repeat set.
Oh, it's a repeat set. Yes, well spotted, Ben.
Featherstone will take a repeat set. If you're not going to get a try, then you'll take a repeat. In fact, no, it's a dropout, even better.
Yeah, it's a repeat set with a dropout. So yeah, Halifax had to fend that ball dead as the kick came through. It was a lovely little dinking kick along the floor, a grubber kick. So Josh Walters just getting some attention in the middle of the field. Like I was saying, previous to that kick, it looked like a high tackle on him. I think he suffered a little bit, but he's okay to carry on. The physio puts a thumbs up. So as this dropout comes out now, it's taken by Ash Handley, who passes it to Griffin, who drives the ball forward. He runs a full 10 metres with that ball. He's eventually put to the ground 30 metres away from the Halifax line. So Featherstone having to bring it back in 30 metres away from where they put that kick in.
Ormondroyd still pumping those legs.
And the ball is ripped, so it's a penalty. The ball was ripped out of Jack Ormondroyd's arms. There was messing around at the play of the ball. I think James Child might be having a word with the Halifax captain here, Scott Morrell, because that's 3 back-to-back penalties Halifax have given away for either high shots or, well, certainly infringements at the play of the ball and the ruck area. James Child not happy with that, so he's having a word with Scott Morrell. See what will happen with this, whether we'll go for the 2. Ian Harmon's got the ball in hand, so we are doing.
Ian Hardman opting to take the 2. Captain on the field, of course, Ian Hardman.
Yeah, we clarified that at the fans forum. Missy Papa's the captain for Featherstone Rovers this year. However, because of his visa issues at the moment, he can't be out on that field as much as he would love to be out there. So Ian Hardman's captaining while Missy's not there.
So captain on the day is Ian Hardman. 20 metres out and more or less smack bang in front of the sticks. This will give Rovers a 10-point lead again. And with 6 minutes left to half time. He's kicked to the goal, straight between the uprights. We've got 6 minutes left here in the first half at the MBi Shay. This Rovers TV production of the Kingstone Press Championship. It's Halifax 6, Featherstone Rovers 16.
So got a 10-point buffer now, haven't we? And hopefully that will have taken the sting a little bit out of that Halifax attack after the Jacob Fairbank try.
That kickoff is taken by Ash Hanley, and here's Darryl Griffin again. It's important Rovers back it up with a nice clean set. Get to your kick, get the kick away from this, and here they are now. Here's Jack Ormondroyd. He's made a difference since he came on as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, although I think the Bostock Baldwinson pairing was equally as good. I'm not sure that any fault of the pairings of those forwards have made any difference, to be honest. I think it's just kept it flowing as the game.
So here's Griffin, he plays the ball. The ball comes to Thackeray again. An early kick. It's trapped that time by Connor Robinson, who swings a passing field. I know some fans like it when it happens, Joanne, but that always worries me when I see a team doing that.
Well, it's you know, what do players do on their own 20-metre lines? I personally don't like to see big passes coming out like that, but they've got away with it of Halifax, they're fine. Shane Grady looking for a penalty there. James Charles tells him to get to his feet and play the ball.
So Halifax on halfway. That's a good drive in, but good defence from Rovers. Here's Ben Johnston. Gets the pass in field.
Looking a little bit like they don't know what to do at the moment, Halifax, but they get the ball up into the air. Ash Handley takes it. Not under pressure, though, and he's tackled. And then that's going to be a penalty because he was tackled on the floor as Ash Handley. Rob Warranty decided to pick him up and put him back over the try line to force a dropout, but James Child quite correctly calls a penalty there for Featherstone Rovers. You can't do that.
That's stupid, isn't it? I'm sorry, I don't mean to criticise too much on, but that's a coach killer, isn't it? You do all that good work, you get a good kick like that, you pin him back tight to his own line, and then that's a penalty like that. It's a coach killer.
Well, the thing is, when you're chasing a game, you do things, and sometimes players get a rush of blood to the head, don't they? And that's what happened with Rob Warranty there. And it's up to Halifax to pick themselves up and have a good defensive set here, isn't it? As Featherstone are bringing it away towards the 40-metre line, their own 40-metre line, with Ash Handley plays the ball to Keil Carlisle, passes it out to the right to Josh Walters, who puts a short pass in there. And Featherstone Rovers have made it up to the halfway line now.
Keil Carlisle waits, it's in half back, he'll swing it left to Thackeray. Thackeray with an inside pass again to Walters. Here's that last tackle, Rovers on the Halifax 40 now. Thackeray drills that ball into touch, Rovers will take that quite happily, I think.
Sensible kick.
Inside the last 3 minutes, it's a 16-6 lead. You don't want to be trying anything fancy from that distance.
It's a sensible kick there from Thackeray. It's what you want to be doing with just a couple of minutes left on the clock. Drill the ball into touch, nothing fancy. Let Halifax put the ball in at the scrum on their own 10-metre line and have a good clean defensive set of 6 to keep them down in their own, penned down in their own half.
So it is going to be a scrum down head and feet to Halifax on their own 10-metre line. We've got 2 minutes 35 left on the clock. Halifax 6, Featherstone Rovers 16. Three tries for Rovers this afternoon. Luke Briscoe, Josh Hardcastle and Ash Hanley with them. One converted by Ian Hardman. And then a penalty as well. And then a try from Scott Morrell, converted by Tyra.
Shane Grady with another strong run down that left-hand flank for Halifax. He is a strong runner with the ball, but Featherstone Rovers defence equal to that strong run and tackling. And John Davis there comes over the top to tackle Alex Mamone. And there's a penalty to Halifax for laying on at the play the ball. Davis and Griffin just a bit slow to get up there. So when I was saying we wanted a clean defensive set of 6, Halifax have got a little glimmer of hope going into the last 2 minutes of this half as they take the tap and 25 metres away from the Featherstone line.
Griggs plays the ball to Morrell. Through the hands it goes. I think that's Ryan Boyle who's on for Halifax. Plays the ball to Barber. Barber finds Johnston. Johnston through the hands it goes. That's swung out wide. Good defence from Featherstone Rovers again. Halifax are 8 metres away.
That's a great tackle by John Davis yet again on Alex Mamone. Puts him onto his backside. The big Australians having to get up off his backside to play that ball. But Halifax coming over to the right. They've got numbers over. And they're in. Rob Warrency scores the try. Thackeray's appealing for a knock-on, but it's not there. Featherstone found themselves lacking on the left-hand side of defence there as Halifax whipped it out quickly to their right. And Rob Warrency was in space. He only had to dodge around Ian Harmon, who was trying vainly to cover. And he went in at the corner. So this is what I was saying about the need for us to have that clean defensive set. But we didn't. We laid on. James Child gave the penalty. It gave Halifax a spell in our own half. And they've come up with that late try just before half-time. John Sharp will not be happy with that at all.
John Sharp's already gone down to the dressing room and he didn't look happy. So it is. We're inside the last minute. I fancy this will be the last action of the half. It's now Halifax 10, Featherstone Rovers 16 with a kick to come.
And it's not that scoreline isn't an adequate reflection of this first half. I would also hasten to add Featherstone have had the vast majority of possession in this half. They've had the chances as at half-time who to go. Steve Tyra is just about to take the conversion attempt. He's a good goal kicker, is Steve Tyra, and it is from the touchline, but it's certainly within his capabilities. But having said that, the ball is swung round the face of the goalpost.
I think you jinxed him.
Possibly did, or it could have been the hooter that was blown within the crowd. I'm not sure, but Featherstone Rovers leave the field. It's going to be a tight second half, a 6-point margin at the moment going into half-time, going into that second half. Makes you wonder what John Sharp's thoughts will be in that half-time dressing room, what he will be talking about with the players. Don't think he'll be very happy at all with them leaking in that late try in the Featherstone Rovers defence, leaking in that late try, and perhaps a little bit of indiscipline that led to it as well.
Very true. It has been a strong performance from Featherstone for the vast majority of that first half. 3 tries to 2, though it is. Rovers tries for Briscoe, Hardcastle and Hanley. 1 converted plus a penalty from Hardman. Halifax tries from Morell and Warrancy. Only 1 converted by Tyra. So 16-6 it is at half-time. Joe, your thoughts on that first half?
I think Featherstone had the majority of the possession and the play. They were looking strong, especially in the first 20 minutes. So it looked to be piling quite a lot of pressure on and putting those pressure into points, converting them into points. Just a shame that we didn't have a recognised goal kicker for those first 2 tries, so we were going up in 4s. However, Hardman has kicked 2 goals as well. So it looked good. We came a little bit unstuck when Halifax ended up scoring their try. We were looking a little bit shady on the ropes. Eventually, we were able to recover from that and scored that breakaway try. But then the disappointment is letting that late try in just before half-time. That's going to give Halifax hope into the second half. It's up to John Sharp how he rallies the troops, gets them coming out in that second half to stop any confidence that Halifax might have taken from that.
Indeed, it is half-time here at the MBi Shay. Thank you for your company so far. I'll see you in about 10 minutes.
Go and make a cup of tea.
Yeah, half-time score here. It's Halifax 10, Featherstone Rovers 16. Welcome back to the second half here at the MBi Shay here in Halifax. Hope you're all suitably refreshed for the second half of this Rovers TV production, should I say, of the Kingstone Press Championship Round 1. Halifax 10, Featherstone Rovers 16. It is at half time. And Joanne, Rovers are going to get first use of the ball in this second half. What have you said if you're John Sharp in that dressing room?
Well, like I said just before half-time, it's about Featherstone coming out confidently. Halifax will have the tails up, and it's a mistake right from the kickoff. It's going to be a dropout under the sticks because it was a forward pass by Featherstone there. So the ball was taken. It was passed to Jack Ormonroy, but it was a forward pass. That is not what John Sharp would have been saying to them at half-time. I can definitely guarantee you that, Ben. So Halifax... You said that Featherstone were going to have first taste of the ball. It's actually going to be Halifax, more or less, that will have first taste of the ball in this second half as Thackeray puts the drop out, goes to halfway. It's taken and it's brought in now by Alex Mamone. He brings it up to 30 metres away from the Featherstone Rovers line. So Featherstone are going to be on some very early under some very early pressure by Halifax.
Indeed, and it's Ryan Boyle now on that Rovers 20. Ball is swung left through the hands of Johnston. But that's a good tackle, though, from Rovers. Under pressure, though, 10 metres out to Halifax. Through the hands of Grady it goes. Still going Morrell. That ball's
a try for
Halifax are over. I think it's Ed Barber. Not what Rovers will have wanted at all. An appalling way to start the second half. A forward pass from the kickoff, forcing a dropout. Then Ed Barber.
It was Adam Tangata who went over for Halifax. Halifax is putting the ball quickly through the hands there. Adam Tangata from a very short distance going over that line, and boy, did he come onto that ball, sprinting onto that ball with a few metres away from that line. Featherstone Rovers, though, playing absolutely coach killer rugby within the first few seconds of that second half. The first thing that needed to happen was Halifax, like I said, they got that confidence with that late try just before half-time. What we wanted was, we said Halifax would have that confidence coming into this second half. What we needed was to catch the ball and have a good set of six. As Steve Tyra does the conversion to level the scores. Unbelievable here. Absolutely against the run of play, you could say. But, Halifax, with all due respect to them, as soon as they've got near that line, they've put the ball over, and that's got to be a concern for John Sharp. We needed a clean set. We did a forward pass, which is a schoolboy error on the first tackle, before even the first tackle, as we caught the ball from the kickoff, gifting possession to Halifax in a position that we really don't want to be giving. So the scores are now level. We're back to where we were at the beginning of the game. So we need to roll our sleeves up and stop the Halifax roll now, because they'll certainly have their tails up.
Johnny Davis has been withdrawn at half-time, and what an impact he had in that first half. But Halifax's tails are up at the minute. Two tries either side of half-time. Here's Scott Morrell now.
And they're playing the ball quickly at Halifax. Featherstone are allowing them to do that. So they're into the Featherstone half already after that kick-off.
On the Rovers 40 at Halifax then. And there's a kick from that's in half from Ed Barber, which Hardman is able to take cleanly. And here's the return from Ash Hanley. But look at that chase compared to how it was in that first half, Joanne.
Oh, they're brimming with confidence at Halifax now, aren't they? We'll find it very difficult to get away from this part of the half, because Halifax will be hunting in numbers.
So here come Rovers and with Mariano. Darryl Griffin now finds Thackeray. Thackeray through the hands it goes.
The ball's lost. We've knocked on. Went over to the left to Chris Alugia. Tried to get it out there to Ash Handley. The ball was knocked on. The pass to Chris Alugia wasn't the best. It was in front of him. He had to reach. tried to pass that ball on to Briscoe. It's gone to the floor. So Halifax, again, going to have a period of possession in the danger zone in that Featherstone half. The scrum's going to be set just about 42 metres away from the Featherstone Rovers line. So they're going to be putting in at this scrum of Halifax. And the way that they're playing at the moment, it's going to be a period of real danger for Featherstone Rovers.
5 minutes gone here in the second half at the MBi Shay. Halifax 16, Featherstone Rovers 16. There's an offload, but well wrapped up though. Halifax is Mariano with the tackle.
A risky offload there by Steve Tyra, I thought, but it came off for them okay. Could have gone anywhere, that ball, but it's come down in Halifax's favour. They're 30 metres away.
Plays that ball.
So Mamone takes it 21 metres away from the line. And they're offloading it well at Halifax here. They're getting the ball out of the tackle. Featherstone aren't wrapping them up above. 10 metres away, and Morrell tells the dummy, it looks like he's over the line. He's over the line, it's Scott Morrell. That's a second try within 6 minutes for Halifax in this second half. Actually, you could say it's the third try within 7 minutes, actually. And it's going the wrong way for Featherstone Rovers as Halifax hit the front for the first time in this game. It's Halifax 20, Featherstone Rovers 16 with a kick to come. And it's going to be an easy one for Steve Tyra to slot over just to the right of the post, I guess, is this one. It's all going wrong for Featherstone. We said how dangerous letting a try in just before half-time does to a team's mentality. And it's certainly affected Featherstone Rovers by the looks of it. Baldwinson Bostock are warming up out there. They're going to be brought on the field as soon as Steve Tyra has taken this conversion. He's definitely not happy, isn't John Sharp, and neither is Danny Evans with what's going on out there, and he's going to make some changes.
They'll be wondering what on earth's gone wrong. With 38 minutes gone of this game, Rovers, we could argue we're in complete control. And then 3 tries in 10 minutes either side. Well, 3 tries in less. 3 tries
in 7 minutes, yeah.
Either side of half time have just completely turned this game on its head. And John Sharp will be wondering what on earth's gone wrong.
As Steve Tyra puts that kick over, so it's 22 points to 16. Halifax with a 6-point lead here at the MBi Shay Stadium in this Kingstone Press Championship game. Upsetting the form books a little bit at the moment. Well, I suppose you can't have form with pre-season games, but certainly Featherstone were the fancy team going into this game. They have had a few injuries, a few late pullouts before it, and as I speak, we do see the replacement of Daryl Griffin coming off the field and Jack Ormonroyd, and we've got Baldwinson and Bostock back on.
Daryl Griffin shaking his head as he takes his place on the bench, as is Jack Ormonroyd. Rovers have just simply been blown away at the start of this second half.
Well, the problem is as well, Ben, once a team get a roll on like this, as Halifax have done, it's really difficult to stop it. And it's up to Featherstone now to consolidate and to stop this roll that Halifax have got on, because they certainly are on. And there's a knock on. That's exactly what was needed. Rob Warrensey took the kick off. He's brought it into the field. It's 12 metres away from the Halifax line. Rob Warrensey's knocked on under a lot of pressure by the Featherstone Rovers defence. So it's going to be a Featherstone Rovers put in, like I say, 12, 13 metres away from that Halifax line. So it's an opportunity for Featherstone to have quite a bit of possession here and put pressure on as Thackeray feeds the scrum. It comes out to the right with Wildy, and Hardcastle, he's put to the ground easily though, and a little bit of afters there that were unnecessary by the Halifax player, but we play on, and Baldwinson brings it into the middle of the field, 10 metres away from that Halifax line. It's going to come out to the left. We've got Josh Walters there, and Thackeray to Harmon. Harmon evades the first tackle, and he's 2 metres short. Brought down by 3 Halifax players. He plays the ball. Carlisle's going to be the first dummy half. Goes to Thackeray. Comes out there to the right. Hardcastle is met again, though, by Halifax defence. And that's good Halifax defence there. on Josh Hardcastle by James Saltonstall. Ball goes out to the left to Thackeray. Thackeray to Bostock. Bostock looking to drive it in. Makes it 8 metres away from the line. Halifax defence looking firm, but it's the last tackle. It comes out to the right here. The Feathers have got it loaded up and Hardcastle's over. Hardcastle goes over the line, and that's the response that we wanted, wasn't it there?
Oh boy, did we need that. We so needed that, folks. At the start of this second half, Josh Hardcastle, what a crazy 10 minutes it's been in rugby league at the start of his second half. 2 tries for Halifax in 5 minutes. Rovers have hit back straight away. And Ian Hardman had the chance to level the scores up. What a match of rugby league we are watching here.
It's going to be a tough conversion attempt here for Ian Hardman. Not a usual goal kicker, is he? I think he'd admit that himself. So it's going to be a tough one. He's only, what would you say, about 8 metres in from this right-hand touchline, Ben. Kyron Johnson watching on. He's the water carrier. I bet he wishes he could take the kick himself.
I bet he wishes he could. I bet he wishes he could as well. The 3 pivot players for Rovers just taking instructions from Danny Evans down on the bench. As Ian Hardman lines this goal kick up.
It's an important kick, is this, isn't it?
I was about to say the same thing. How big is this kick?
Come on, Ardo. He's lining it up.
He's pulled it.
Just to the left-hand side of the uprights there, Ian Hardman. Just unsuccessful with that conversion. So Halifax still in the lead as Halifax make a double interchange. They've got Mitch Cahillane and Luke Ambler coming onto the field. Alex Mamone and Ryan Boyle leaving the field. So the kickoff comes in and Jordan Baldwinson bringing the ball away from his own line. 5 metres away. Bostock now, the other prop in this Featherstone Rovers outfit at the moment, currently on the field. Goes another 5 metres. So Featherstone with Josh Walters over the 20-metre line, met by a wall of blue and white. Gets to his feet, plays the ball. Going down this left-hand side of Featherstone, steadily making progress. With 12 minutes gone of this first half. Josh Walters with the ball again. Second half even, yes.
Saying that. It's
the last tackle.
42 points in 12 minutes.
The ball comes, the kick comes in there from Thackeray, and the ball's fielded by Halifax. They're on their own 30-metre line.
That kick not as effective as the kicks he was making in the first half. Yes, it found the floor, but it didn't turn him round. Warrensley plays that ball. And here's Saltonstall now. Halifax just shy of halfway.
Offside.
Rovers pulled for offside.
Quite blatantly offside as well. I think it was Josh Walters there trying to sneak a few extra metres, but right in under James Child's nose, and you can't do that. The ball hadn't been played, so Halifax with the penalty creeps them up the field a little bit more. They're going to take the tap on the Featherstone Rovers 30-metre line.
How crucial is it for Rovers that they get the next points, John? If Halifax score with the kicker that they've got, they could open up a 2-score lead as Rovers did, and it'll make life a lot more difficult. And here goes Mitch Carlane now. Edwards moves that ball out wide. Zed Barber, sorry. Attacks in half-back, 15 out then. Swings the ball right to Morel. Morel through the hands it goes. Here's Sangata. Halifax 5 away. Morel shows it once.
Oh, the loaded
Johnston, the gap's there for Grady. What defence! Oh my word, Shane Grady looked for all the world a try scorer there.
And they're going over.
But Ben Johnston, is he? No.
Halifax thought they were over, but they're not.
What's the referee said here?
He said the handover, so it's turnover to Featherstone. So Featherstone survive. Gosh, that was so close to being further behind there, Featherstone Rovers. I did feel on the play before with Shane Grady, if he'd have passed it out to the left, that they were clear in, and Shane Grady didn't. Featherstone, though, being driven back towards the post. Halifax defence looking. Oh, that's
nasty.
That's a shocking tackle there.
That is nasty.
Halifax. I think was it on Josh Walters, Ben, that tackle? But
I think it was, and that was a nasty tackle. The head went back
forward into a gap there, and his legs were taken from under him by that high tackle. So referee James Child pulls the play up immediately. There's both sets of players gone into the middle of the park, trying to sort out what had gone on. Featherstone Rovers players absolutely not happy with what happened. Could have been a Lugia, actually. I'm not sure.
Well, I think it was a Lugia, actually. But Rovers understandably not happy because that tackle was nasty. A card's out. It's yellow. Only yellow. That could have been a lot worse than that, Joanne.
Well, it could. I think perhaps what's well, I don't know. I don't know if there is any excuse for it really, because it was a classic high tackle, wasn't it, on Chris Aluja? It just found a little bit of a gap in play, and the arm came across. And now Halifax are down to 12 men for 10 minutes.
So Rovers then with Jordan Baldwinson on halfway. Plays that ball. Here's Bostock now.
Oh, he's lost the ball off Josh Walters.
Loose.
It was a bit of an impossible offload there to Josh Walters. He was tackled as soon as he received the ball. No surprise there that he actually lost it. So Halifax are going to have a put in at the scrum. Featherstone trying to force the play just a little bit too much.
They don't need to do that now, Joanne. Just need to keep composed, set, sensible rugby. They've got the man advantage. Swing it out wide, play the right passes at the right times, and they can stretch this Halifax defence.
I totally agree, Ben. We didn't need to be forcing that pass down the middle of the field, did we? I know it sometimes gives you a little bit of an advantage, but Halifax defence were up on Josh Walters even before he caught that ball. It was a classical hospital pass, and it was no surprise he dropped it.
So here at Halifax then. A big 10 minutes for them. Here's Jacob Fairbank. Halifax holding a 2-point lead with 15 gone in the second half. Grady finds Tyra. And there's a penalty for holding down. Rovers need to be careful here. When you see teams go a man down, one or two things can happen. The rest of the team can rally, and it is sometimes find that the team that's gone a man down can lift the game, and they'll play like they've got 14, never mind 13.
Looks like Kyle Briggs is waiting to enter the field down there as well on this touchline, but he's not going to enter for this bit of play here. Halifax 8 metres away from that Featherstone line. They're going out to the right-hand side. It's looking dangerous here. Rob Warrants is on his own out there. Comes in the field, though. Featherstone defence rally round and managed to bring him to ground. 3 metres away from that Featherstone line.
So Rob Warrants here, slow play the ball, but he does play it. Here's Morell again. Morell through the hands. Here's Fairbank. But he's well wrapped up by 3. Barber finds Johnston. Johnston switches direction. Comes in field. The gap almost opens, but Johnston loses his footing. Ball swung out to Morell again. Morell with a kick through. Hardman chases it. I'll tell you something, Joanne. Ian Hardman then was the coolest head in this whole stadium.
It certainly was. He watched that ball go dead, and my heart were in my mouth, I must admit, Ben. And he watched that ball go dead with every confidence that a good fullback would have. And that looked like a shoulder charge there from Jacob Fairbank. I'm not sure that's legal these days.
This is getting tasty, Joanne.
Certainly is, and James Child needs to be careful in this game that he keeps control.
It's Josh Walters who's come off for Kyle Briggs.
He might be feeling it a little bit after that high tackle. Here's Jordan Baldwinson, evades the first tackle.
He has had a wow of a game.
40 metres away from the Halifax line of Featherstone with a couple of tackles in the bag with this. They're going down the side with Frankie Mariano, but that's a good tackle by Steve Tyra on Mariano. Goes over to the left. Kyle Briggs' first touch of the ball this game. Goes to Thackeray. Goes to Bostock. Bostock evades the first tackle.
Go on, Buzzy.
He's going down the field. He's not got any support though with him. Oh, the support that was with him was blocked off. The ball's played, and
that's a penalty.
That's a penalty. Could even be a professional foul, that really, but it was the last tackle. The ball was played, and it was a real melee on the floor by Halifax, stopping Kyle Briggs from being able to pick that ball up.
It was Ed Barber who didn't clear the ruck, forcing the referee basically giving referee no choice there.
Kyle Briggs is going to take this kick at goal to level the scores up.
Yep. So having that recognised goal kicker again, those 6 points that Rovers have lost from missed conversions, how crucial could they be?
Well, we'll see. John Sharp said on Thursday at the fans forum that it didn't matter if we didn't have a recognised goal kicker, because we might be. It was up to us to put ourselves far enough ahead in front. That might be the case later on in this game. Let's hope. But at the minute, it's telling pretty crucial. Although Ian Harmon would be able to kick this goal because it is right under the sticks. Let's hope I've not put the mockers on Kyle Briggs here. But the ball does go over those posts. So with just over 20 minutes remaining in this game, the scores are level once again, 22 points all. What a tight game this is. Both sets of fans urging their teams on.
And what a 20 minutes we've got ahead in this match now. Halifax 22, Featherstone Rovers 22. And Rovers don't do what they did in the kickoff at the start of this match. That kickoff is taken.
It's a high one. That wasn't a forward pass that time, so it went well and truly back there, did that pass.
Made sure about that one, didn't we?
Yeah.
Here goes Baldwinson again. He has been so good today as Jordan Baldwinson. Every drive is taking 2 or 3 men in. And his defence has been superb as well, Joanne.
That looked high from Shane Grady going in there. There's a bit of an appeal came from Frankie Mariano. The touch judge was having none of it, though.
Look at the difference, though, being level mates to what we were before. The yardage the Rovers are making from acting halfback and moving out.
Featherstone looking to play the ball very quickly on this set of 6. They've made a lot of metres up this field from that kickoff. They're now on the last tackle, 30 metres away from the Halifax line. They made 70 metres forward in that set of 6. The ball goes up. Warranty takes it cleanly, though. The chase is in there, and they're trying to force him over the line. Just can't manage that. He makes it just centimetres over his own, away from his try line, does Rob Warren.
Look where Halifax is starting.
Halifax appealing for penalties galore there from the referee. He's saying, just play the ball. He's giving a penalty to Featherstone Rovers.
Boy, is that a big call.
James Saltonstall said something out of turn there. And I think it's fair for James Child. I did say that the Halifax players were all having a go at the referee. And I think he was very right to give the penalty. They were exhibiting dissent to the referee. That's what happens. Kyle Briggs going to have a kick at goal here.
Oh, why shouldn't he? Within the space of 2 minutes, Rovers now in a great position to retake the lead. And what a match we have got here this afternoon at the MBi Shay. We've got 18 minutes left. It's Halifax 22, Featherstone Rovers 22. Live on the RoversTV this afternoon. Oh, what a first match this season we're putting on, Joanne.
Certainly is a tight one, isn't it? Gosh. Kyle Briggs just eyeing up this kick now. He's got it on the tee, the ball. It's just to the left of the uprights, about 10 metres away from those uprights. He's successful, though. That puts Featherstone Rovers in front. 18 minutes left in this game. And it's Halifax 22, Featherstone Rovers 24. Halifax still down to 12 men at the moment. I think there's another couple of minutes before they come back to a full complement. Featherstone fans travelled in good numbers today. They're in full voice again. They found the voices after that. Briggs kicks, puts them in front. Big high kick-off once again. I think it's for Thackeray to take. He passes it back to Bostock. Bostock brings it up 10 metres away from the Featherstone line. He's been taken out to that left-hand side by the Halifax defence. Eventually goes to ground. Chris Aluja brings it away from dummy half. And he's lost the ball. He's lost the ball as Chris Aluja on his own 20-metre line. So Featherstone playing suicide rugby again. Halifax have got the ball in a position that we really didn't want. The Featherstone Rovers defence is having to get set into a defensive pattern now as they go out to the right with Morell. And how dangerous has he been? And Halifax have lost the ball now under pressure from Chris Aluja. Halifax player puts the ball down. So Featherstone breathe a sigh of relief as they come up with the ball 10 metres away from their own line.
What a passage of play. We're going to run out of breath by the end of this game. I'm running out of paper as well to write on. What a fantastic exhibition of rugby league we're seeing this afternoon. Rovers.
I was just going to say, Ben, it's a typical season opener encounter, isn't it? Both teams putting their all in this afternoon. As Featherstone trying to go for a milk a penalty there. James Charles says, no, get to your feet, play the ball, quite rightly. So we've got up to the halfway line. It's going over to the left with Thackeray. Thackeray goes in.
Oh, go on, Ian.
To Ian Harbin. Harbin's got nobody with him, though. He has now. He gets out, gets to Bostock. Bostock out to Hardcastle. Hardcastle going for the line. And he's just put into touch. That was a great effort there by Featherstone Rovers, keeping the ball alive. A good break there. Ian Hartman backing up. It came out to the right. Josh Hardcastle took the ball from a one-handed pass by Andy Bostock, and he just got bundled into touch as he was trying for the try line, but good play by the Rovers.
Oh, what a fantastic move that was. From left to right, through the hands, and this game, nobody's letting up at all throughout this match. It's just superb rugby league all around. A great quick hands moving the ball out wide. But also credit the Halifax defence as well, Joanne, because Rovers had the Halifax defence stretched and struggling, but they came across superbly and managed to complete that tackle. So you've got to give credit to them as well.
Oh, certainly. It was good scrambling defence by Halifax, wasn't it? I thought that Hartman didn't have anybody with him, but the ball did eventually come out, went out to Bostock, and he got it out to Hardcastle. But yes, as you say, the Halifax defence down their left-hand side came on quickly. They scrambled quickly and managed to bundle Hardcastle into touch. So they'll take a lot from that to say that they're still a man down as well.
Moving into the last 15 minutes here at the MBi Shay. It's Halifax 22, Featherstone Rovers 24. And here are Halifax now bringing that ball forward.
Back up to 13 now, Halifax, so it's level playing field once again.
And here are Halifax on halfway. Ooh. That's a good offload though, and Barber.
It is,
that's
and he managed
a great
to
break from Mitch Carlane.
It could be Halifax.
Got support there from Ben Johnston. Halifax in the Rovers 20. We're on the last tackle. Tyra. Steve Tyler is over for Halifax. In the corner. It was on the last tackle. It was swung out left. It was a great break up the middle that set the position up in the first place. But Steve Tyler able to get the ball down in the corner. Hold on to your hats, folks. What an end we've got in store. It's Halifax 26. Featherstone Rovers 24.
Yeah, what led to that try was in the middle of the field. Halifax player, there were three Featherstone players round him. I think it might have been Matty Wildy, I'm not sure. Fourth Featherstone player went in to tackle the Halifax player. While he was doing that, the Halifax player managed to offload. That left a big gap in the Featherstone Rovers defence for that break to be on, that put them in the position on that last tackle for it to be whipped out to the left for Steve Tyra with all his experience to keep his calm and to put that ball over the line.
And who would you want to be kicking your goal in this situation? Steve Tyra.
Yeah, he'll be looking to convert his own try there, won't he? Again, it's from near the touchline. He's only a metre or so in from this left-hand side touchline.
Such a prolific goal kicker, though, Steve Tyra. Arguably one of the best in this division.
He's got it.
He has kicked it, you know. Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, that was. I thought that's a
thought
bit
that
of a
was
strange
between
one.
the posts, I must admit.
I
But
thought that was over. I honestly thought that was over.
I thought that was between the posts as well. Certainly from where we're sitting.
From where we stand, that was
like
over. I agree. The
but-
Halifax fans around us are saying that was over, and I'm sorry, but I have to agree with them.
But the touch judges are the ones that are stood under the sticks. They're the ones looking from a different vantage position. So Kyle Briggs here with the kickoff. He's taking it long. It goes down here to the Halifax left-hand side. It bobbles a little bit, but it's taken well in the end by Ben Johnston.
It's Halifax 26, Featherstone Rovers 24. We've got 12 minutes left here at the MBi Shay. And Halifax in possession. They have the advantage, but I'm not saying that's the end of the score in the way this game's gone this afternoon.
Yeah, it's been Halifax's half so far as this, hasn't it? Whereas the first half was most definitely Featherstone's half. Second half has definitely belonged to Halifax. Featherstone not able to have quelled the Halifax steamroller forward as they're going forward again now with another half break, and the ball's passed off the floor. But he's bought the.
How was he not held?
I think he did. His ball carrying arm didn't hit the floor, so he was on his back. He was able to pass from the floor. The referee hadn't shouted out, so that was a legitimate pass. As the ball is drilled into touch by Halifax, and the scrum will come on the Featherstone Rovers 10-metre line. So Featherstone having to do this tough with 11 minutes remaining in this half.
So it's going to be Rovers scrum down, head and feed on their own 10-metre line. What a match we are watching this afternoon here at the MBi Shay. A real blood and thunder first game of the season. No, everyone's leaving it all out on the pitch, and you can't fault the effort from either side, can you?
You can't. I think maybe John Sharp would look at some of the unforced errors that we've made especially in this half, as Shane Grady comes in with a real tough tackle there on Josh Hardcastle. He'll have felt that. And Grady again is like a man possessed out there at the moment, and there's a little bit of a fight going on. Whoa!
It's all starting again.
That was Adam Tangata came in there. And if Adam Tangata doesn't get any games for that, the way that he came in, absolutely no need for Tangata to come in like that. He'll be at the disciplinary panel this week. Well, next week will Tangata. It won't help Featherstone here. Billy Mallinson in the middle of it there.
Brad Tagg's not happy either. He's getting involved away to the right, just to the edge of it all.
I'm not sure who the Featherstone Rovers player was that was on the floor that was having a fight. He wasn't happy with Shane Grady's attention. It was Luke Briscoe that wasn't happy with the attention from Shane Grady. I did say he was like a man possessed. I feel that the penalty will go to Halifax here though, because it was Luke Briscoe that did the initial punch on Shane Grady. But the way Adam Tangata came in there was absolutely no need for it. And he will be up in front of disciplinary for that, no doubt about it, I'm sure.
It's a big call for James Child, not in the context of this game as well. It's such a tight game. James Child in discussion with both of his officials.
We might even see Tangata go off the field here, you know.
If that was the case, would we see Briscoe go off as well?
Possibly, yeah, because Briscoe, you could argue, did start it. He didn't like the attention from Shane Grady. Ian Hardman, the captain. Absolutely no need for Tangata to do that.
He's called out both the captains. I think this is going to go on report, you know.
I think it will be a Halifax penalty, though, because, like I say, Briscoe... It's going on report.
Yeah.
I'll see what the referee decision is going to be. I think it's going
I don't think anyone's going to leave the field, you know. I don't think anyone will leave the field.
Play on as we were, so... Oh, no, penalty to Halifax, as I said. No surprise there. So Shane Grady giving Luke Briscoe a little bit of attention. It was legal, though. And certainly Luke Briscoe didn't like it. He got Grady on the floor and he was punching him. Halifax not gone for the 2 points, interestingly. They've gone to take this play, haven't they?
That's a big call as well. Obviously, fancy they can do something here.
I think this
Look at that Rovers
is going to be
defence.
really fired up, to be honest. And depends if Featherstone can keep the cool in defence.
Here's Mitch Carlane.
10 metres away, Halifax from that Featherstone line.
Barber tries to go himself. He gets the ball away.
Knock
It's
on.
a knock on. Halifax have lost the ball. How will they live to regret not taking those 2 points? Rovers hurrying to set that scrum. We're inside the last 10 minutes here. It's still Halifax 26, Featherstone Rovers 24. 2,147 here today. Not a bad attendance for the opening game of the season.
Well, certainly Featherstone Rovers fans have travelled in numbers today as well. So it's decent attendance for Halifax, is this?
So Rovers, and they've got the length of the field to go, but this team can do that. Here's Aluja. Quick play the ball, and Rovers are bringing it in field.
Looked
They're
a
up
little
to
bit
the
of a
30.
high shot there, didn't it? But referees let it go by Halifax.
Ormondroyd's back on.
He sneaked on. We didn't see him. It must have been while they were sorting out the fracas down
Here's
below.
Baldwinston then.
Halifax coming in with some really good defence and tackles here, though.
Briggs. Thackeray. Here's Bradley Tagg. Rovers on the Halifax 40 now. Here's that last tackle. There's a kick over the top. It's taken on the full, though, by Saltonstall.
It's good chase, though. Saltonstall brought it down 10 metres away from his own line. Rob Warrensy has knocked on. Rob Warrensy's knocked on his own 10-metre. Unforced. Absolutely nobody on him. He was looking at the defence coming towards him and not looking at the ball he was supposed to catch. And he's just put the ball to ground. So it's a Featherstone Rovers scrum 12 metres away from the Halifax line.
Just when you think things are settling down, Halifax have got a chance to bring the ball away calmly. And then a mistake like that, it's just non-stop action all
Rovers.
the way.
Come on, Rovers. 8 minutes, 43
Halifax
seconds
charging
left.
the scrum, but Rovers have come up with it. Here's Wildy. Here's Ian Hardman now.
So 8 minutes, 36 on this clock. Rovers 10 metres away.
Wildy
the ball
again.
comes over to the left with Kyle Briggs, who does a little bit of a sidestep. 8 metres away, he gets tackled. Plays the ball, and it's
penalty.
Penalty to
Take the
Featherstone.
2. Level it up.
What a decision.
You've got to, surely.
Ian Hardman's looking around. He can't make his mind up as captain.
Rovers fans away to our left want to. It levels it up.
You can't not go for it, can you? You've got to go for it.
If it was further out or maybe to the side of it, you could argue to run it. But in front of the sticks, it's an easy 2 points. It's Kyle Briggs. You can't not take the option, can you?
Somebody's singing boring rugby to the left-hand side of us. Absolutely not Halifax supporters. It's sensible rugby, is this? So Kyle Briggs looking to convert, and also it will mean that Featherstone will get the ball back from the kickoff as well. 7 minutes, 31 seconds remaining in this game. Kyle Briggs looking to put this ball over, and he's successful. So that levels the scores up once again. Halifax 26, Featherstone Rovers 26.
And we've got 7 minutes left. Oh, don't envy you your choice for the man of the match in about 3 minutes' time.
Gosh, let me think about that one for a while.
Oh, boy. What a match you've seen this afternoon, folks. There's the kickoff. Taken on the bounce.
Jack Ormondroyd brings it up. Anthony Thackeray appealing for something, I'm not quite sure, but as Ormondroyd is tackled, but nothing forthcoming. So got Aluja there, bringing it forward. Comes to Briggs. And Featherstone Rovers bringing it over their own 40-metre line, still not in the Halifax half.
Make sure that kick finds touch if and when we get to it. turn this Halifax team around, make them set the scrum, bring it from deep.
That's a quick play, the ball there. It goes over to the left with Illusia. Illusia's wrapped up though. 30 metres away from the Halifax line. It's the last tackle. Thackeray puts the kick. It's high.
Ooh.
It's high. And it's spilt. And
Rovers!
Kyle Briggs!
Kyle Briggs!
Kyle Briggs scores a try for Featherstone Rovers! Yes!
Fantastic! Kyle Briggs put the kick in the air. Hey, look, for all the world, 2 players challenged for it. I think it bounced off the back of the Rovers player's head towards the line. Nobody in that Halifax team reacted at all. Kyle Briggs able to dive on the ball, and Rovers stretched that lead. Rovers are back in front with 5.5 left. Oh my word, I'm running out of breath here now. Mine paper. It's Halifax 26, Featherstone Rovers 30.
Oh my word. I'm using one of your catchphrases now, Ben. I think it's very apt though. So we've got 4 points in it. Kyle Briggs lining up this kick. 5 minutes and 2 seconds left on this clock here at the Shay. There's still time left in this game for things to take other turns. But listen to that Featherstone crowd off to our left, singing away there. Oh, what an exciting game this has been this afternoon. Kyle Briggs looking to convert his own try.
I don't even know whose head it bounced off either, you know.
No. It's over.
Kyle Briggs is converted. Rovers have a 6-point lead with under 5 minutes left. It's it's Halifax 26, Featherstone Rovers 32. And what's the betting to land that we need a drop goal now? Well, I think in a game like this, if you get the opportunity, you've got to take it.
You have. Just full credit to Anthony Thackeray for that excellent high kick leading to that try. What we need to watch for here, short kickoff. It is a short kickoff. It's going out there. It's taken well, though, by Illusia, who gets wrapped up. Sensible rugby. Up your jumper now, lads. Come on, up your jumper. Halifax will be hunting the mistake from Featherstone Rovers. We need a good set of 6. Jack Ormonroy brings it up. 40 metres away from his own line. Takes it to 42 metres away with his run.
4 minutes left.
Comes to Bostock. Bostock evades the first tackle. He takes a tackle. No offloads from Bostock there.
I was going to say there's times in a place and that's not it.
It's going to the left with Thackeray. Thackeray puts in an early kick. It goes towards the touchline. Is it going to find touch? No. So
no, but it's found the ground.
Rob Warrensey, he'll be looking to make amends from that mistake that he did that put Featherstone Rovers in the with the opportunity to score that try. Featherstone need to be very careful. They don't do any offsides here. Halifax going round in circles with the ball, but it comes away. Does Sultan stall? But gets tackled. Halifax with a bit of a roll on in the middle. A couple of the Featherstone players were offside, so they had to stand off. Good tackle from Mariano in the end, though, and the Halifax players hurt. Comes to the left with Tangata. Tangata running, takes it into the Featherstone Rovers.
That's a great tackle on Tangata. Superb tackle.
Sultan stall there, passes it to the right to Morel. Goes in the infield to
Mitch Carlane.
Mitch Carlane.
Oh, no. No, no, no.
He milked that. He milked it.
Maybe he may have milked it, but it's still a penalty. And that Rovers there. Oh, just when you think, you know, a good clean set. It was a good defensive set for Rovers. But towards the end of the set, that's another coach killer. And it sets Halifax up now. And they're going to have 6 tackles on this in this Rovers 30 now.
They certainly are. And Carlane went to the floor like a sack of spuds.
So, Steve Tyrer with that tap. He finds Adam Tangata. Tangata moves the ball in field. And Halifax are in the Rovers 20.
Come on, Featherstone. Goal line defence, so important.
Morel now. That's a good tackle there on Connor Robinson.
So important we keep this line solid. 2 minutes 12 left in this game. Halifax pressing.
It's Simon Griggs.
5 metres away from the Featherstone line.
Tangata again. That's a great tackle. Saltonstall's coming field, looking for the action. That's a loose pass. It's picked up and Halifax lose momentum. They're on the last tackle now. Is this the last chance for Halifax? It's a kick through. Rovers it's a penalty. Oh, Halifax are going to get another opportunity. Rovers taking the man out after the kick. And Halifax have got another chance here.
Really under it now. Halifax player brought down centimetres away, but Featherstone really under pressure.
Morrell
players out quick.
Gets the ball away. Fairbank. Look at that defence though from Featherstone Rovers. Closing down Jacob Fairbank superbly there.
1 minute left in this game. And the ball's
knocked
lost.
On. Rovers drop on it, and I think that could well be the game.
We'll not count our chickens yet, Ben. We are 20 metres away from our own line. There's still 45 seconds left in this game, but that was crucial, turning over a possession there to Featherstone. I'm shaking here.
Oh boy, what a game this has been. And if Rovers do win this, Joanne, what a way it is to start the season.
It's no good for me, I tell you.
Andy Bostock takes 3 steps up at snail pace. He's not offloading any passes now.
20 seconds remaining. Featherstone still in their own half. Jack Ormonroy brings it up to the halfway line. 13 seconds, 12, 11, 10 seconds. We're just hanging on to that ball with Andy Bostock. He's just happy to take that tackle. 3 seconds.
2, 1.
It's the last tackle, and then the
Rovers
hooter
have
goes!
come out with the win.
Rovers have won the game.
Oh!
Halifax 26, Featherstone Rovers 32. Featherstone Rovers players jump in the air in delight. Halifax players sink to their knees, especially Rob Warrensey on his haunches over there. He must feel that he has an element to play in that last try to Featherstone Rovers. But what a game this afternoon, Ben. What a game.
Absolutely fantastic game of rugby league. What an advert for rugby league as well. For the Cooperative Championship. People talk about Super League being the brand, Kingstone Press, sorry. People talk about Super League being the best rugby league. If you think that's the best, get a video of this and watch this game. An outstanding exhibition of rugby league. It all started 73 minutes ago with a try for Luke Briscoe, which wasn't converted by Ian Hardman. Josh Hardcastle then went over for a try 3 minutes later. Again, not converted though, and you're wondering at that stage, would Rovers live through those misses? Ash Hanley went for a try under the sticks, converted by Ian Hardman, before Scott Morrell got Halifax on the board after 28 minutes to make it 14 points to 6. And Ian Hardman stretched that lead out to 10 points before Halifax went over right on the hooter for Rob Warrensey, which wasn't converted. And at half-time, Rovers had a 6-point lead. Joanne and I were saying at half-time, it's a matter of coming out at the start of that second half, completing your sets, getting a good start, and on the very first play, Rovers made a forward pass. Halifax scored off the back of that through Adam Tangata to level things up before taking the lead to a try from Morrell. But then what a half hour we had in store. Josh Hardcastle put Rovers back within 2 with a try. Kyle Briggs then kicked a penalty to level it all up before kicking another one to give Rovers a 2-point lead. Steve Tyler then gave Halifax a 2-point lead without a conversion, which I have to say did look to be a perfectly good conversion from where me and Joanne were sat. Then it went for in the last 7 minutes, it was a Kyle Briggs show. A penalty for Briggs to level it up, and then a converted try for Kyle Briggs. Halifax had an onslaught at the end of the game, but weren't able to get over. I've run out of room on my score sheet. I've run out of breath in the match, Joanne.
Well,
what an awesome game.
I was just going to say, that game had absolutely everything. It had tries, plenty numbers of tries. It had action. It was end-to-end stuff. There wasn't a period in the game that there was a lull, really. Both sides were just on it all the time. It also had fisticuffs, it had high tackles, it had sin bins, it had errors. It was just a classic game of rugby league. And it's a shame that Sky don't show this, but by the heck, go out and buy that DVD on Tuesday, because you won't be disappointed.
What have Sky Sports missed this afternoon? What a fantastic rugby league match it's been. We never even had a chance to draw breath. You've had a few minutes to think about it.
You can ask me the man of the match.
RoversTV man of the match this afternoon.
I think it's very difficult. I think for the whole game, it's difficult to say. I would definitely have picked John Davis out in that first half for his tackling, because some of the tackles he was putting on Scott Morrell seemed to have a little bit more room to work with in the second half, so maybe that wasn't as effective. But certainly in the first half, for that Jordan Baldwinson, I think I would say that Jordan Baldwinson, I think the Baldwinson and Bostock as the props made a big difference to the Featherstone Rovers team. I think I'd go with Jordan Baldwinson as my man of the match, because when he was on the pitch, he made a difference.
So Jordan Baldwinson is the RoversTV man of the match. But there's so much has gone on, it's difficult to even to think back.
It was to even think about who was the effective ones. I think Josh Hardcastle had a very good game as well, you know. His competitive debut for Featherstone Rovers, getting a brace of tries. The way that he played in that game, you would have never have thought it were his first game as a full-time professional, his competitive debut, would you?
Not at all. He's such a mature player for such a young age as well. And Rovers could, you know, the first game of the season we've had, the pre-season we've had, Rovers can take so much out of this today, looking forward to the weeks ahead.
Oh, it'll have done them good. I don't think John Sharp will be pleased with all aspects of that game. There's certainly some things that, you know, the forward pass from the kickoff from Thackeray, that was a schoolboy error, wasn't it? And it led to a Halifax try. There was the penalty in the middle of the field where we were laying on, led to a Halifax try. Those kind of things are the things that I'm sure that they'll be looking at with John Sharp this week to make sure that we don't do that against Oldham down at Big Fellas next Sunday. Indeed, and get yourself down there for round 2 of the Kingstone Press Championship. This has been RoversTV with you from the RoversTV, from the MBi Shay. Thank you for your company this afternoon, Joanne. Yeah, thank you very much.
What a way to start the season indeed. It has finished. The full-time score here at the MBi Shay is Halifax 26, Featherstone Rovers 32.